Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Smita Sakwate, your own consultant cosmetic dermatologist practicing since last 24 years. And I'm on a mission. Mission Beauty Sundarmi Honar. In next 3 years, I would like to make 1 lakh women beautiful. So in this series of interviews, we have come up with a wonderful topic. Women, are you having those hairs on your chin? Or are you having that upper lip hair? Or there is a hair which is troubling, a huge black hair or a gray hair, troubling on your cheek, which makes you look less beautiful? Then definitely watch this particular interview because it's going to give you the greatest insights to check out the hair and make you look fabulous as ever. And let me tell you, you are the one who is epic and divinely beautiful. You are a masterpiece. Only thing, we need to give a little bit of brush to the beauty. So here we have Vinu Kripalani, one of the famous aestheticians practicing in Khar from Mumbai. Let me introduce Vinu. Vinu, when she was young as a teenager, had lots of acne. And she visited many doctors but were not happy with the treatments. So her endeavor to study skin care became her passion. And when you are troubled, believe me, you try to search the best things in this world. And that's how she landed up to UK, to France, to Germany, and name the country, name the course, and she has done everything. So she has undergone various courses and she is one of the best trainer according to the European standards. So isn't it marvelous, you ladies, that I am presenting you the most gorgeous looking Vinu Kripalani, who is the founder and CEO of Vinu's Skincare Clinic. Not only that, she has many feathers in her cap. The first feather, as you can see, she is gorgeous and beautiful. And believe me, her age is not to be known to you. That's the first sign of her branding. And the next, as she's been a teacher and she has been a speaker in various conferences, not only for beauticians, but doctors too. And she does a fabulous job in semi-permanent makeup. So if you ladies want to look beautiful, definitely do contact her. We will give her contact address and make yourself look fabulous and beautiful. So here we present and welcome Vinu Kripalani on our platform. Welcome, Vinu.
Thank you so much for your kind introduction. I am quite overwhelmed with all the compliments. So thank you, and we can begin with the questions.
Yes. The topic here we are discussing today, as I have not yet unrevealed to you, the topic is removal of hair through electrolysis. So many a times we doctors fall short because when we are trying to do a laser, the laser primarily works only on the black hair. But what shall we do when we have a gray hair? So here we are presenting electrolysis by Vinu. So Vinu, my first question to you is, what is electrolysis?
Well, electrolysis is the means and the safe method of removing hair permanently from the face and body. Now that the laser is around, we try not to do too many bodies because the area is too large. But of course, face we do very, very frequently. And the method by which we work with electrolysis is that a very fine needle is inserted into the root of the hair, and then a very mild current is passed through it, and that helps to destroy the growing part of the hair follicle. So after we have given that little current, we then remove the loosened hair with a pair of tweezers, and so it is done hair by hair. It is a tedious process which requires patience and it is the only permanent method of hair removal. So the impulse has to be correct so that, you know, we get to the root and it helps to destroy the root. Of course, it is the destruction doesn't happen in the very first time. Like all hair removal methods, it takes a few sessions to destroy the hair. So this is one method with which hair removal can be permanently removed. Hair can be removed permanently, it will not come back ever.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, basic, just because the women should know, we will put some nice pictures as to how the hair looks and how the entry of the needle happens into the hair follicle, and then how it is burnt and how it is squeezed out. So we will put some wonderful pictures so that you get an understanding as to how the hair removal happens. My next question to you is, Vinu, see, beauty is one thing. I think so there is no time for it. You know, it goes from ages together and it is going to continue through the eras of, you know, life. So how this electrolysis actually came into picture? You know, what is the history about it?
So it's not, electrolysis is not a new thing. In fact, it is very old. It started actually since the 1800s, in 1860 actually. So in 1860, for the very first recorded report about electrolysis was in 1875 by a Dr. Charles, who was an ophthalmologist and did trichiasis, that is the removal of ingrown eyelash, and this was recorded in Missouri. He was a Missouri ophthalmologist. This was the first record that we have of electrolysis. And soon in the late 19th century, electrolysis was being done quite all over the world, you know. It was taking effect everywhere because that was the only method in those days. And over the years, it improved and gathered speed, and, you know, the machines were improved, the methods were improved, and over the years it evolved into 3 different methods. So it became the subsequent part of the electrolysis was that first there was the galvanic system, in which it looked after the coarse and the curved follicles. Then came the blend. The blend was a mixture of techniques in which it looked after very coarse and very curved hair follicles, because curved hair follicles are very tricky. But the most popular, which is even today very popular, is thermolysis, which we use nowadays. So thermolysis is simpler and quicker. The other 2 methods are rather slow. So thermolysis is the method by which we work, which is simple and quick, and it gives very good results. That works for most different types of hair, whether it is gray, whether it is medium thick, or it is, you know, any leftover hair from laser treatment. All that is covered with our thermolysis, which is what we call electrolysis nowadays. So this is the history, and over the years, subsequently, many different machines and devices come into the market which claim to remove hair permanently. But after many trials, people have, you know, tried them. Electrolysis has always been the backbone, and it is the only FDA approved method which permanently, you can claim that it permanently removes hair, permanently.
Wonderful. So that's a real knowledgeable. I mean, it was galvanic and it was blend, and then thermolysis came into picture.
Exactly.
I can remember when I was doing my post-graduation, those days laser wasn't in the picture at all. And I remember, you know, all my postgraduate male colleagues, I used to make them sit and, you know, do this electrolysis on each one of them just to have my hands-on experience. And the men have real thick and strong hair, and they have their pain tolerance also. So this was my passion during my postgraduate days. Almost, you know, hours together, I used to sit with them and do all those things. But as lasers came into picture, definitely it took a back foot. But let me tell you, this is a wonderful equipment and this is a wonderful procedure. I mean, some procedures are gold standard, So this is, I would say, one of the gold standard thing, which comes to rescue. Now, definitely we have been working with lasers, but it so happens sometimes some of the hair still keep popping up in spite of laser, one. Second, there are some mid-aged women or menopausal women and they have those gray hair coming up. And there are some of the women who have that curved hair coming up and it looks very ugly, on the chin. I remember one of the recent, a lady, a grandmother came to me and said, see, my grandson is getting where, it's a wedding and doctor, do something for it. And I said, yes, you will need electrolysis. And then I sent her to one of my friends who's expert in it. Now we have started using laser. So here we would like to know from Vinu, where does electrolysis come into picture in the scenario of laser?
So when I would prefer to send my clients for laser, especially if they have dark, thick hair, and especially if they have to do the larger areas, for example, full legs, bikini, arms, underarms, and so on. Face also, if the hair is dark and thick. So laser works beautifully on thick, dark hair. But unfortunately, it doesn't work so well on medium thick hair. So, or of course, gray hair as well. So for those women whose hair is turning gray, it doesn't work at all. Then the hair which is left over after laser, they need to also get rid of those few hair. Then there are the PCOD people for whom sometimes laser does not work. I've had a few clients who've said they've gone for laser and it hasn't worked for them. So then they come to us for electrolysis. So this is where electrolysis, but I think the two can work in tandem very beautifully, So every system has its own place in the beauty field.
Yes, so beautifully said. Who's the right candidate? Now the women definitely want to know, should I go for laser or should I go for electrolysis? So who's the right candidate, so that we can highlight them so that they can get this procedure done?
Yeah, so there's somebody who has really dark, thick hair, go for laser. And once you've finished your 6 treatments of laser, and if you find that now it is not working anymore, or you have just a couple of hair all spread out, then they can come for electrolysis. Or if they have upper lip especially, where the hair is not so thick, then the laser doesn't work because the laser is working on light. And the root of that hair, which is not thick, there is not enough root for it to absorb the light. So when it doesn't absorb light, it doesn't work. So with electrolysis, it's a different matter altogether. So it works on everything except peach fuzz. Now, the only thing that nothing works on is peach fuzz, the fuzz that we have on the sides. That peach fuzz, we can't do anything, neither laser nor electrolysis. So for that, we have a different system, which we will talk about another day.
Definitely. So, when it comes to Vinu, there's a Pandora of scientific material coming out, not only science, but the experience. She has been practicing since so many years. And believe me, practical experience matters a lot. That's my own experience in life. Always a person who's experienced and believe me, you can trust. That's a whole thing about beauty and about life as well. My next question to you is, definitely the women out there are going to ask you, ma'am, is it painful? How long will it take?
So yes, you're right. Pain is a factor to be considered. It is when the needle is inserted and a mild current is passed through, there is a sensation of pain. My client in Muscat, I lived in Oman for quite a few years. So in those days, there was no laser. So they were at my mercy, unfortunately. There was no saving from me by laser. So my client in Muscat one day she described it beautifully, and I have used her words ever since. I wish she could hear me using them. She would be so happy. She told me that it is just like a hot mosquito bite. Is just like a hot mosquito bite. So, but we have come across now, ever since then, we have also got topical anesthetic creams. So now when my clients come for electrolysis, we tell them either you apply it at home and come, or you sit here and apply it and wait for a while. So they apply a topical cream in the area where we are going to work, and that anesthetic cream works very well. And when we do it, it becomes quite comfortable. They are quite comfortable after that. So how many sessions? That is difficult to say, because it all depends on the type of hair we are dealing with. If it is hormone based, then she needs treatment as well as electrolysis. If it is PCOD, again it is, treatment plus electrolysis. If laser works, why not? Otherwise electrolysis. Then people who have been threading, waxing, tweezing, pulling out the hair by different means, their hair then suddenly starts increasing, multiplying, becoming thicker. So they always tell me, I only had 2, now I have a whole chin full of them. So in that case, we need to do electrolysis again. But see, the thing is that they have to also be regular. If you come to me once in, let's say, 6 months, it's going to take forever. But if it is done regularly, the effect is quicker. But I think a client has to know that it is going to be patience, because it is permanent. So patience.
How often do you call, ma'am?
Not before 2 weeks.
Okay.
Minimum time between treatments has to be at least 2 weeks, because the skin must recover and be fully, completely all right. And the hair has to grow back before we can do anything.
Yes. So in between, they are not allowed to, pluck their hair, do any threading, waxing. None of those procedures are ever allowed.
No, on the first day when they come, we tell them, first prepare yourself that you cannot do threading, waxing, or pulling the hair in any way. But you can shave it, you can cut it, and you can shave it, you can bleach it. But you cannot remove it by the root in any way, because the root will become stronger again.
Many women have no hormonal issues. They are perfectly all right. They have just fine hair on the upper lip. And it looks like, pigmentation, because it gives a physical look to them. It's a camouflaged pigment kind of look. So how would you advise such kind of women, how often they need to come? Because they don't have any hormonal issues. So just a rough idea to women folk there, because they definitely must be having this popping question. I want to get it done, but how long will it take?
Yeah. Well, in their case, we would call them maybe once in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, not really very often, because what we're trying to do is gradually eliminate, and that kind of hair also goes quite fast. It doesn't take long to destroy that root, the upper lip.
How long does one session last? Now, suppose if it is only chin or only its upper lip, approximately how much time do they spend with you in your clinic?
It depends on the number of hair. Our minimum time is 10 minutes. In 10 to 15 minutes, we can clear quite a lot. I mean, a whole chin full can be cleared. I do about 40 minutes. I can do the cheeks and the chin and part of the upper lip in about 40 minutes. But if somebody has just a little bit of hair, 10 minutes is quite sufficient, 15 minutes. So electrolysis, I think people should also know that internationally, electrolysis is charged by time, not by area, but by time. So we put on the timer when we start, and minimum time is 10 minutes. So they pay for that 10 minutes. If we do 15 minutes, they pay for 15 minutes, and so on. So it is quite economical from that point of view.
Wonderful. And what best example that time has the greatest value to be taught by electrolysis to us. Because Time once goes away, I mean, will never come back. So valuing time is the greatest importance. Probably I learned today that electrolysis has taught through you. What are the results that the women should expect, ma'am?
Well, the first few sessions, I tell them not to expect too much because, the hair may not be in the anagen stage, which is the growing stage. Hair goes through different stages, as I think the clients should know. So if we catch it in the growing phase, it will have a much better effect. If we catch it in the resting phase or the falling out phase, then obviously it has zero effect. So, depending on, Punjabi women, Sindhi women, I'm a Sindhi, so I can tell you from my personal experience that we tend to be hairy. And there are a lot of other Indian states where the hair, like I find that South Indian women, Gujarati women, and others, they don't have such strong hair. In fact, some of them don't even need waxing much. So if you have, like, I have nieces who are half Punjabi, half Sindhi blood, and they are very hairy, very hairy. So it's not a hormonal problem. It is not any other issue, but it is just that a Sindhi and a Punjabi combination has given them so much. It's a gift from both sides. So they need treatment, and if it is not hormonal, the hair goes pretty fast. Yeah, it's better.
Wonderful. So definitely the women out there have got the greatest possible insights about their concern of upper lip hair or the hair on the chin, which is, making them, when they look into the mirror and they're not comfortable, they are not I or they are not me self, I'm not the beautiful self. So definitely a little bit of chiseling, a little bit of care, a little bit of, best possible treatments available can make us look all the more beautiful. I always say every woman is beautiful, but if you chisel it, you look like a diamond. I know the beauty shines much more. That's how it is. And definitely, if you reach Vinu Kripalani, let me vouch on it that you are going to look gorgeous as you walk out of her aesthetic center. That is for sure, because the experience and her passion speaks what she loves to do. And she is the one who does everything tailor-made. So like, if you would like to wear a Sabyasachi sari, and the same way, you would like to have a wonderful Venus kind of a skin. So it's like more of, really tailor-made. So it was wonderful talking to you, Vinu. My last question coming up, we are coming toward the end. Would you like to give some take-home back message to all the women out there? Because they often land up with wrong kind of information about this, and they apply many wrong things and they land up with burning skin, they have pigmentation, hair removal technique, something, which is not spoken by the experienced category people, and they often listen to this, and that's how they spoil their face. So would you give some wonderful message to all the women out there? What would be your take-home back message in regards to this particular topic?
So my message to all women is that nowadays there is a solution for every problem. And one should not do quacky things, don't listen to quacks. Try and listen to scientifically programmed, solutions rather than quacks. It is easy to, find easy solutions, but you have to be careful because your face is the first thing people see. You can't hide it, you can't wear a curtain on your face. You can hide your body, but you can't hide your face. So be careful with your face. Don't give it to just anybody. Do some research, find out the person's background to whom you're going. If you can't afford that person, then at least go and take advice from that person as to how to go about the situation, rather than, doing the wrong thing and then, trying to correct that problem. That way you will end up with more, self confidence issues. And better to take the plunge once in the correct way than to keep going round and round in different wrong methods. So every woman, like you said, has her own beauty. Every woman is beautiful. The only thing is that we have to bring it out. And we have to not be too critical about ourselves. You know, we are our own worst enemies sometimes. We focus on all the wrong things. But if we focus on the right thing, we are all beautiful. We can bring out the beauty in us by doing simple things. You don't have to do anything complicated. And you have to do things which are related to your age. I find a lot of young ladies trying to do things which they should only do when they are in their 60s and 70s or 50s at least. But young girls are doing things which they should not do. So I always give them an example. I tell them, if you don't have a headache, would you take an analgesic? Would you take a Dolo or Crocin or an aspirin? They say no. I said, then why are you taking this action which you should not be taking? You don't have this problem. You find a solution when you have a problem. Don't take a solution when you have no problem. It's like taking an aspirin but you have no headache. So you don't do the right thing at the right age. Don't get carried away because everybody else is doing it, I must do it too. But take good advice, listen to sensible advice. Don't get carried away because my friend did this and this one did that, so I must do it too. Don't do that, because I think we are all good looking. We just need to bring out the right thing about ourselves.
It is so beautifully said, Vinu. I mean, genuine advice is what is really necessary. Many a times patients come to me and my friend has undergone this treatment, doctor, I want it. I said, your skin is different. You are totally a different person and you don't have this problem. I mean, don't just go because your friend has done it. And, you know, when we try to mirror somebody else's image, I think so we'll never look beautiful. It's just, you know, what we are. Let's be very true to ourselves and probably the beauty will shine more better. Because each one of us is a masterpiece. Each one is unique. Lord only creates masterpiece. That's why I always say that, you know, Lord only creates masterpiece and each one is one among them. So if you start treating yourself with dignity and respect and that you are a God's creation, I think you start looking fabulous the way you are. It's just that you need to redefine from the right person at the right pace at the right time, and that's how you can look more beautiful. Now, as we end the session, this is one last question to you. We have just known for only a couple of days. I would like you to talk a few words on Mission Beauty or Dr. Smita Sakoti, whatever comes to your mind.
I think your mission is something that is quite amazing. And I wish to join you in that mission if I can, in any way possible, because I think it's a fantastic mission you've taken on, because a lot of women just need that little self-confidence to shine. And I heard one of your talks about one of the ladies you helped, and I thought that was so marvelous, because I think we need to change the mindset of our young ladies. You know, they sometimes have the wrong ideas about themselves, and we need to change their mindset to give them more confidence, to make them more aware of themselves, to be able to face. I mean, we are all strong. We women are so strong. We can face whatever problems that come our way. So we need to together to instill this in the ladies whom we meet, and that would be a fantastic voyage. I would love to join you in that.
I'm so glad that people like you who are genuine and who are experienced are joining my mission. Any dream which is done in a selfless motive always has many hands joining. And I'm so glad that God has divinely sent you to meet. You know, everything happens. I believe that everything is divinely planned. It is just that we collect the pieces of puzzle and we give a motive to our living and make a life more creative and more beautiful. So thank you, Vinu, for giving me your valuable time and the valuable guidance to all the women out there, and definitely we shall be associated because we are going to come up with some live question answer series as well, and this is just a beginning, and we have so many things to learn from Vinu about semi-permanent makeup, which all of you women out there are eager to listen to. So definitely we'll have next upcoming interviews and live sessions where you can ask all the possible questions to Vinu. So stay tuned to our channel and keep linked to our Facebook as well. That is Mission Beauty Sundarvi Honas. And definitely we have put the address of Vinu. You can definitely go and take the best services. And as she rightly said, even one single consultation from a right person can give you the right light and the right road and the right direction in your life. So have the right mentors who can take you to the best possible to make your life an epic journey. So thank you so much. Keep stay tuned, and I really want to thank from the depth of my heart, Vinu, for joining me, and really love you, respect you, and let me tell you, you are the most gorgeous lady I have met, and I really adore you.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity to be with you, and I thank you too. Thank you.
So Mission Beauty Sundarvi Hona. Next years, we would like to make 1 lakh women beautiful. Are you one among them? So definitely join our Facebook group and our YouTube channel. Thank you. Have a great day.